Understand the difference between your long shots and your short shots. It'll reduce your handicap and you can hit any shot you want.
Now, what I mean by that is if you think playing good golf is just making good golf swings, that's where you're going wrong. It's having the relevant swing thoughts to the right setup in order to execute the correct shots. And I don't want you to leave this video until you have these setups and swing thoughts nailed.
The first thing you've got to do is get the setup right. Imagine with your short clubs, you're setting up like a reverse K. That includes ball towards the back of your stance, weight on your lead side, and hands on. So if we placed a reverse K over me here, you could see my body is mimicking that. It doesn't stop there. Now in the backswing, feel as though your lead arm is mimicking the top of the K. Keeping your weight on your lead side, this will help control low point, help control strike, and stop you making such long swings. Should look and feel a little bit something like that. Here, that, here. I've got a wedge in my hand, but I would use this exact setup all the way up to something like maybe 8-iron or 7-iron. The reason why this works, it keeps it more compact. It keeps it more under control. You're already preempting getting more weight and pressure into your lead side, not making long swings, moving back, trying to pick the ball off the turf. This is how it should look for those short approach shots.
Now, I know in order for you to improve, I need you to see this in a little more detail. This is what all the top pros do, and you should be doing it too. So look at this. I'm starting in the reverse K position, and simple. I'm just maintaining that throughout the stroke. Now, before we look at this in a little more detail, later in this video, we are going to look at driver 2. And I need you to compare the tempo differences. This is where so many students go wrong, so don't fall for that trap. I'll show you exactly how you can get out of that trap. But look how my weight and my bottom of the arc is staying ahead of the golf ball. And if you're a golfer who has that fear of that half shot, that pitch shot of fatting, fluffing, chunking, leaving the ball in front of you, this will simply eradicate that. Think nice and simple. This is how you're going to play good golf. The reverse K and keeping that weight on the left side.
Moving on to the long clubs. If this was where we started with the K with the short, now I want you to think of your setup from here to here. More like an X. From here to here. More like an X. Look at the difference. So look where my belt buckle is. More in the middle of my stance, as opposed to being more forward. And then in the swing, you have to feel a little longer and feel the X factor. The X factor is here to here. The shoulder line to the hip line. Shoulder line to hip line. That's our power. So your idea here is belt buckle more in the middle, longer, more X factor backswing to really allow us to make some more speed, have some more control, but in the right way, for the right club, that's in your hand. It's so important to see the difference with driver, so here we go. Whew! That felt so good. And how narrow is this tee shot, by the way?
This is the bit of the video that I promise you. But before we look at that tempo comparison, just think of the driver, as I've just said, as that X. You're really starting to create great separation between upper and lower. And I should have said this in the video. It doesn't matter on your flexibility level. If you want to hit longer drives, just create the biggest X factor stretch. Biggest stretch between your shoulder line and your hip line at the top of the backswing into transition, and you'll nail the drives of your life. But now look at this tempo differences. This is what I was saying. And I keep mentioning this, but in order for you to play good golf, you've got to harness good tempo and the right tempo for the right shot. You can see my speed is obviously a lot quicker with my driver than it is with my short shots. But I'm keeping a tempo. I'm always swinging within myself. And I'll be honest with you, the easiest way for you to do this is think about it as gears of a car. I would hit a pitch shot in gear 3 out of 5 gears and a driver in gear 4 out of 5. Obviously, sometimes on a wide open fairway, I might ram that up to 5 out of 5, but as a whole and a fairway finder, gear 4.
I'm going to go and grab my ball from the fairway. See you later.